Friday Live, Batmania Friday Live. We've got a couple gentlemen right now joining me that is going to kind of blow your mind a little bit. You ever heard of a Batman collector? Well, we have him right now. This is Phil Shep. He comes to us from Jefferson, PA. He's a Batman collector. And also joining us is Mr. Chuck Dixon. Believe it or not, he is a writer for the Batman comic book. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us this Batmania Friday. Phil, I'm going to start with you real quick. Okay. We've got a whole layout here of all the stuff that you collect, and it's all Batman memorabilia. Number one, how'd you get started collecting Batman memorabilia?
Well, I was kind of always a Batman collector from as far back as I can remember. I loved the TV show. I watched it when I was a kid. Always read the comic books and just saved everything. And just kind of, after I got out of high school, it just kind of kicked in, and I just started saving it and displaying it.
How many years have you been collecting for Batman stuff?
Probably 10 to 15 years.
10 to 15 years?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. What's one of the, I don't know whether you have one of the first things you ever collected. Do you have that here?
No, I don't.
No?
No.
Okay. I was looking at some of the things on here earlier, and I looked at this mug right here in the front. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's right here on the front. I looked at that, and I started laughing because I had a Batman lunchbox one time, and that was in it.
Yeah, that's where that came from.
Is that how you get a lot of your stuff? Some stuff that you may have had when you were a kid or when you see
yard sales and garage sales, flea markets, comic book shows, anywhere and everywhere.
What's one of the strangest places you ever gotten any Batman memorabilia from?
I bought a Batmobile last weekend out of a barn.
Like one of the toy Batmobiles?
A toy Batmobile. Okay. It was in a barn.
Oh, really?
In a box.
What's one of the most expensive things you ever
One of the most expensive, probably this Batmobile right here.
This one right here?
Is probably about a $400 piece.
This is $400?
Yeah. That's a children's ride-on toy from back in the 1960s. It's made by Marx and has a Batmobile bat symbol horn here that squeaks, and it's just
$400. $400.
Yeah, it's hard to find this stuff.
It would be real hard for me to find it. Now you got up front here. You got what's this? Rings? Batman rings?
These were sold in gumball machines back in the 60s when the TV show was on. And there's just a different assortment. There's 12 different rings, and you could collect them. This in the center was displayed in the front of the the gumball machine, and just, you know, for your nickel or a dime, you'd get a ring, and you'd try to collect all 12, and I've finally gotten all 12.
Well, you said you started collecting when you're reading the comic books, and Chuck, that's where you come in. You're the original writer. You are original writer of Batman comic books. How long have you been doing that?
I've been writing Batman about 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
Now it's got to be tough to keep the storyline going. I mean, how do you come up with the concept?
It can come from anywhere. It can come from, you know, something that happened to me or something I read in the newspaper. You know, I'm always in search of a new crime for the villains to commit.
So you're saying that you can look at the news or you can look at the newspaper and you see some crimes that are committed, you turn that around and pop it into the Batman comic book?
Yeah, certainly.
Really?
Yeah, try to keep it current.
Now, do the movie makers, do they consult you in certain things that they do?
The movies and the comics are all owned by the same company, Warner's, but they keep us separate.
Really?
Yeah.
How long does it take you to sit down and come up with an idea? Let's say you've seen something in the paper, and now you want to put together an idea. How long will it take you from the time that you've seen it or you read it, and you put it together and pop it into the book?
I may read something and file it away for as long as a year, you know, and then call it forth.
So you have things that you have back that you want to do anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Ahead of time.
Yeah, I'm always storing stuff up, you know, and then comes the time I either remember it or I don't.
How'd you get involved writing for Batman? Not for Batman, but for Warner Brothers, but Batman comic books.
Well, I sort of backed into it. I liked Batman. I've always liked Batman, but I never politicked or campaigned to get the character. But they had a Robin miniseries, and no one else wanted to write it.
All right.
And I wrote it, and it became a hit. It surprised everyone.
Now, it's a big process, I know, in order to put the comic book together. You have to do with the color guys, the illustrators, the drawing and all that. Do you work with them in order to put all that together, or you just go ahead and do the script and give it to them, let them go ahead and do it?
Well, I do a full script, and then the penciler gets it, and I usually talk back and forth on the phone with the pencilers. See, most of the guys I work with are friends.
How many scripts do you write a year?
Well, I write about 4 or 5 a month. So
4 or 5 a month?
Yeah, I write 4 or 5 books a month.
How many pages are in that?
Between 22 to 28 pages.
About 22 to 28 pages?
Yeah.
How much time actually is, script time is that? When you're saying 4 to 5 a month, that's a lot.
Yeah, I got to spend, you know, a week on each.
A week on each
Yeah,
one.
and sometimes double up.
You ever hear any feedback on it?
Oh yeah, you go to conventions. We have letters, columns.
There's Batman conventions.
Yeah. You get. I'll believe it. Yeah.
Batman is almost like the Trekkies.
Oh
like
yeah.
Star Trek almost, right?
Yeah, Batman fans are loyal. I mean, when I was a kid, it was either Batman or Superman. You liked one or the other.
One or the other, right?
Yeah, I like Batman.
Now, Phil, do you go to different areas to go ahead and do some collecting for Batman?
Yeah, I go to New Jersey, down around Philadelphia, to different shows. I actually set up and sell things.
Oh, really?
And that's how I finance this.
Oh, okay.
I sell
all right.
TV collectibles. And
so you still have this here, $400. I'm just stuck on that real quick. I see right up front now you have a card. Is that an original Batman?
Yeah, that was from a series of different custom car cards. And it just happened to be one of the Batmobile, which is here today. And I picked that up from a friend of mine.
All right. Well, great. Phil, thanks for joining us this morning. Chuck,
sure.
Continued success for you, buddy.
Thank
I'll
you.
make sure I keep on reading for you, all right?
Okay.
When we come back on Friday Live, we'll continue with some Batmania. In fact, we're going to have a person here who will tell you all about bats. She came all the way from the Baltimore Zoo, so make sure you stay tuned.